And welcome. All right, welcome Podbean. Welcome the zero people that are listening to us right now, but this is going out as a podcast soon. Josh, tell them where we are, buddy.
We are upstate New York, Catskill Mountains. We are in between Saratoga Springs, beautiful town with a racetrack, and Lake George. That is a very nice lake, but that is more of a touristy place. And Saratoga Springs is more of a hipster type town with great bistros and breweries. Actually, the Cooperstown Brewery is right in Saratoga Springs, which we'll go to tomorrow.
Right.
But we are in a town called Corinth, which is just off of the Hudson River, upstate New York, and it is where the Hudson River kind of narrows down, looks more like a stream than it does down by where we are, down towards the city, which is a big river you couldn't swim across. This one you could swim across in like 30 seconds.
Okay. Now, what? I got to ask you a question. Like, well, you're from Pennsylvania. There's beautiful places up there, right? I mean, over there, campsites and everything. What brought you to this specific place? We're here at where are we? Out? What is it called?
It's called Alpine Lake RV Resort.
Okay. Now, what brought you here?
Actually, Chris Sava.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he used to come up here when he was little with his parents, and he said, like when we pulled in, right now there's close to 500 campsites. He said when he pulled in, there was less than 100 with his parents. So they came up here every year, and then he inherited his parents' camper, and he would come up here with his friends when he was 16, 17, and that's a different type of camping.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So probably about 6 years ago, we said we wanted to do something around Columbus Day. And we wanted to go camping. And he goes, well, let's go up to Alpine. They have cabins, which is, I'm doing TikTok live right now, directly across that, which is called Goose Pond.
Beautiful.
There's 4 cabins over there that you can rent for the weekend. So we came up like 4 years in a row and we rented all 4 cabins, different families, and we loved it. So then we decided to get a camper last year because we became empty nesters and we had to do something besides stay home, and we looked all over down in Westchester and Dutchess, and everything that Shannon looked at, she compared to here. So finally I said, you know what, just see how much it is to come up here. And we came up here, we love it.
Yeah, and we were driving up here today, and we were just talking, just literally chit-chatting or whatever. I mean, we're going to talk here on a podcast for like 2 hours. We've been talking all day, but that's the beauty of this. But you said this to me on numerous occasions, that this is your happy place. Now, I'm just, going through what I'm going through my own head. And I think all like men, like, in their own head, like they make their own happy place. It doesn't matter what it is. But I think all men need a place like that to go to where they can just basically like, just don't think about really anything, like, from the day-to-day life or what's going on. Like even come up with the family and just like, it's very quiet up here. And that's a good place for just solitude and just like really think about stuff. You know what I mean? So I think every man kind of needs a happy place like this.
Oh, like we were saying on the way up here, it didn't matter what happened Monday through Thursday midday. As soon as I hopped in that car with my wife and we had the dogs in the back, again, it sounds like a country song, hopped in my Ford F-150 with my wife and dogs and went camping.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter if we hit traffic. I was in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
Monday through Thursday, if I'm driving up Route 9 and someone's going 40 and a 55, I'm honking the horn. I'm angry. On the way up here, I am in such a good mood.
And it shows because we're friends, we're around each other. You have that tendency to like yell and scream at people when they're driving and stuff. I've never observed it, but you just said that to me, so I'm not lying, right?
Actually, you saw it on the way up.
I did. I didn't want to say that, but he threw himself under the bus. Yes, but it's all right.
And I said I never do that on the way up here, but we were under a mile from where I had to turn to get into the campsite, and someone stopped at a railroad crossing because there was a bus on the other side with the yellow lights on.
Right.
Yellow lights means you can pass the bus.
Right.
Red lights means they're stopping.
Okay.
What does every bus have to do when it comes to a railroad cross?
It has to stop.
Has to stop. But are they letting kids out?
No, they're not.
So on the other side of the road, do you have to come to a stop?
No.
No. This person did. And it wasn't just one bus. It was 2 buses.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, she's going to wait for the next bus also.
All right. Now I'm psychoanalyzing this right now, and I'm going to have a response. Keep going.
We just got done talking about how I'm in a good mood coming up here, and then I go and do that. Mm-hmm. That's because I was just to my happy place, and she was stopping me from being at my happy place.
Gotcha. See, I'm the last person in the world that should be psychoanalyzing anything right now. But that's exactly what I was going to say. It had nothing to do with the person going the speed that they were going at. They were messing up your happy place, the arrival
Yes.
of to your happy place where
I don't mean
nothing
to interrupt
mattered.
you, but my blind dog just got stuck around a tree.
It's
So
okay.
you keep going and talking. I need to help my blind dog.
Yes. Now, if you guys remember correctly, I know Josh did his own podcast a couple of weeks ago. Now, a couple of weeks ago, he really got into a lot of, I think he got a lot out, and I think that was really good for him. It was very noticeable the next day when he said that he got all that stuff out, and a lot of people have been responding to it, through different platforms, saying that what a good job he did. And listen, guys, if anybody's got stuff to get out there, just talk. Even if you talk to yourself, just say it out loud. You see all these videos around now. They're really the hot topic right now. Like, guys, like, we have feelings too, but it goes deeper than that, though. It's because we're not supposed to at some point. And I'm not saying we have feelings, but it's kind of, we just have stuff that bothers us sometimes, and it's like, and sometimes we got to get it out, and we get that stuff out differently, I guess, than women. And that's, I guess, sometimes where the difference between men and women lies, at some point, and I'm just talking about, we were talking about the video you did. And how I it was a noticeable difference in you the next day about how, not even that I knew anything was going on, but a noticeable difference in the way you were talking and the way you were just saying, like, I'm so happy I got it out, because you were reluctant and nervous to say hit send.
Yeah, I didn't, after having done it, I was like, I don't know if I want to put that out there. Because to me, and that's the hot water heater, sorry, and the camera keeps kicking on. But
we are live.
My like letting that out, I was kind of embarrassed. And you kept saying, don't say embarrassed. Well, I was just, everything came out and I just released, which was great. And like I just said, my blind dog has been my shadow for the past close to 3 years. I've been with him pretty much 24/7 for 3 years straight. Yeah. And he just went blind in January, completely blind. So every day I'm like, just now I had to say, all right, big step, step. I'm his seeing eye person. Mm-hmm. So that's my two boys are 21 and 19. So they're still my boys, but he's my baby. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, and like I said to you this afternoon, I mean, and I've said to you after you did it, like I listened to that, what you did, and I instantaneously had no thought of, like, of course I'm going to put this out. If you wanted to, of course, but I had no reservations of saying, oh, this is, like you said, embarrass something, whatever. But right. There's no embarrassment there at all, because it's just something that you wanted to get that out, and it felt good. If it felt good, where's the embarrassment? Because you felt better, right? And also, it leads you to believe. And I also have people tell me that people feel like that, man, but they just don't want to say it out loud.
Right, but it was like, after I listened to it, like I was crying, and it was like a full out release. I couldn't talk. It was hard to recover from. Then I was like, I was embarrassed because what they say, don't air your dirty laundry. Not that it was dirty laundry or anything like that, but it was just like, you're not supposed, well, we were raised, you're not supposed to let your emotions be out there.
Right.
And after I did it, I was like, oh yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, I literally felt the weight come off of me.
Right.
And the rest of the day and since then I've been so much better.
Right. Like, and I think that, like, kind of correlates with, like, just my relationship with my wife, like, kind of like, I'm realizing that I had some stuff, like, inside of me that if I didn't get it out, maybe it was causing maybe, like, stupid arguments, as you say, like with my wife, my spouse, who I love to death, and it's like, why am I arguing? It's like, it's because I just, and I don't know why. And that's like the weird part, because maybe you just through life, like I didn't get stuff out when I wanted to. And maybe there was a point, because I have been doing it recently and it has been feeling better. Even if I'm just yelling at the air, or like this podcast is very therapeutic for me, and you had asked me to do something similar to what you did. Now, I've been going through something for the last couple of weeks, in my own head, I'm working stuff out. But that night, like, I don't know, that night I had a lot of good thoughts in my head, and like, I didn't want to, like, get on the podcast. I want to do something like that when it's really, like, when it's necessary.
Right.
Like, I felt like when you did it that night, I felt that it was necessary that night. Like I said, you had those feelings, and like, that's the point. So now
you don't want to try to force.
No, that's the thing. Right. You don't want to, well, me anyway, I didn't want to feel like I was going to get on there and be like, all right, this is how I feel. And no, because you want to get on there like we do, and we just have conversation that flows. You want to do that same thing as you're, telling people how you feel.
Right.
You want it to come from a real place. So I'm going to do it, but it's got to be a time when I'm like, I just know, it's just to a point where I got to get it out, because it's like, my life is your life. Everybody's life is just go, crazy. And I've had some time to sit back and think now over the last couple of months. And, there's a lot of good stuff going on. I'm like, getting stuff out and just even saying it and just having complete honesty with my kids and my wife. And like, it's like, just because you're just because you're going through stuff and people think of like, that's what are you so upset about or whatever. It's like, everybody's got their stuff and you got your stuff too. So maybe
to
it's
some
got to get out.
people, what we're going through is trivial,
Yeah.
but to us, it's not. It's
Yeah.
real.
And I think guys are listening out there, if you guys are like pissed off at something, don't fight with with your wife. Or maybe sometimes, you do need to fight with your wife sometimes, but don't fight your wife or don't yell at the kids or whatever. Just kind of like turn around. You'd be like, all right, why am I mad? And just kind of think, just like maybe if you got to get it out, like, like you said, like, great. I used to do it all the time. Scream into a pillow. That's awesome. Or go down and punch a heavy bag.
Right.
It's like something like that. Just because as a man, men are more primal than women. So women tend to express their feelings all the time. I guess if a woman could tell me that I'm wrong, but I just through the years, like women tend to tell us how they feel.
A woman could tell you you're wrong, I guarantee you.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm talking about how they express their feelings. Like me specifically, and maybe not all men are like this, but like if I got something happening, it's like, all right, I got to think about something else. And all of a sudden, it's like I'm backtracking to stuff I thought about a couple of days ago, and then it's like that's how the frustration of an argument happens.
Right,
so now I'm learning in my own head to kind of like work things through and be like, all right, a day later, it's like it was yesterday, so it's like everything's good today. So and that I kind of was like helping me work through like stupid, meaningless arguments that I have with my wife. And I'll go into her in a couple of minutes because I mentioned something to somebody today that I want to get out there also. So,
but the other thing, like we were talking about on the way up here, my wife pointed something out to me yesterday. We're driving up to Poughkeepsie to my youngest son. He was in a softball league now, and it's 6 o'clock. We're trying to get there by 6:30, and I'm honking, I'm yelling, and she was like, why are you being like that? She's like, that didn't warrant the honk and you're yelling. And then I started to say something, but then I realized, you know what, you're right. I'm doing that because I'm pissed off on the inside.
Right.
So there's no reason to be driving on a freaking Tuesday trying to get somewhere for a softball game and honking at someone going the speed limit in front of you.
Right. But we're so in tune to like where we live to just get to go. Like I even like kind of like, I don't know if you heard it, like under my breath while you were saying this, like everybody's in a rush to get to the mall. Everybody's in a rush to get their Dunkin' Donuts coffee. But in actuality, like if you're in Fishkill, like where are you really rushing to? You're home from work, or at that time you're probably home from work, and it's not like a rush hour. So I don't know. I just think that it's just crazy that everybody's I guess maybe I'm just learning because I'm a little older. Maybe just people slow down. I think maybe
Yeah, I say that to myself, but then 5 seconds after falling behind someone in the left-hand lane going 2 miles under the speed limit, that goes out of the way.
Yeah. Just I'm just reading something my sister wrote. She is I get my sister said I had to say Mia, who was my niece, I love her. I love her to death. She just came out and asked me, when is she old enough to curse? I told her she has some feelings built up inside of her. She needs to curse with it and just go for it. Get those feelings out. Maybe I'm a bad parent to say that. You're not, Meg. You are the furthest thing from a bad parent. But we all need to let loose. Also, Mia says hi to her favorite Uncle Richie. See, that it is, Meg, and you're the furthest thing from a bad parent. But that's awesome. So Mia's listening. That's awesome. So
hello, Mia.
Even Mia, my niece, she's young. She even needs sometimes. So I feel like she needs to yell and get stuff out.
But there's a right and wrong time to swear, and sometimes you just need to swear, and it feels so much better.
It does.
But Mia, if you're in school, there's never a time to swear in school.
She knows that, and if I know my niece correctly, she definitely beats to her own drum, and she knows. She's very, very sweet and very smart girl.
I might have to go get some bug spray because
we got to get some bug spray.
It wasn't bad
exactly
all night, but as soon as we sat down here, we are being swarmed.
All right,
my legs are being. All right, so you talk. I'm gonna find a bug spray.
Okay, I think I'll find something to talk about, Josh. Well, anyway, listen. Well, Josh is up there for a minute. E-Dubs is out there. E-Dubs right now is in Miami, and he's out there on his world or Eastern tour. And I think Eric and his son Ben are going to these baseball games, and they're just like, they go every year, and it's a really, really cool thing, man. Because you got the two of them, the baseball fans. They know a lot about the sport. They're very passionate, and just listen. I don't know if you follow E-Dubs. You guys should follow his trip. Like they're in Atlanta, they're in Miami. He says they're in Miami right now. It's like that is cool stuff, man. You know what though? That's the stuff we talk about on Shootin' the Breeze as dads, me and Josh. And
E-Dubs go down to Little Havana. If you're in Miami right now, E-Dubs, Little Havana. best Cuban sandwich you ever get.
Yeah, little Havana, huh? Now, if you've seen that on the video up there, Josh has put a headlight on. I think he's going coal mining or something. I don't know what he's up to right now.
Welcome to the Catskill Mountains.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain.
Wow. That was another Brokeback Mountain reference. I was only kidding about the first one, and I hope he's kidding about the second one, too. I think that video was kind of funny, though. I don't know if you guys saw it. I think we had a little bit of a little funny thing going there. But anyway, yes, just talk about Eric for a second. Eric's out there. He's in Miami right now. He's in watching one of the most exciting, non-exciting teams in the sport of baseball right now. But anyway, listen, that's for the Murph and E-Dub show. Listen, E-Dubs, you're listening out there, buddy. We got to do 40. 40 is a big one, man. All right? Stop with your, listen, like going back into what you're doing with your son. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. Going back to what you're doing with your son, it's very cool, dude. And you're always going to have that bond. And that's kind of like what, me and Josh talk about on Shootin' the Breeze, a little bit bonds we have with our children. And, we can see from a father-son perspective, we don't have daughters, and you included. And it's like, it's just even the child and father, perspective, we're there for our kids, whatever they want to do. And you guys share that bond. And that's pretty cool, dude. You guys do it every year. Keep it up. Maybe me and Aiden will join you. Me, Aiden, and Jack will join you on one of your excursions one of these years. But it's pretty cool, Josh. See what he does? He does it every year.
Yeah, we were talking about the one time, and that's great memories that your son will cherish.
Yeah, and Ben, listen, I know you're not on the clock right now, buddy. But if you would type in audio good, audio bad, I would appreciate it because, like I told you, you're at the top of the list, buddy. You're coming with us. Let's see. I'm sure he will. E-Dubs is listening. But anyway.
I'm just gonna say I'm not sure if that was DEET stuff that I sprayed on you, but we've put worse stuff in our body.
100%.
That DEET is not the thing that's gonna kill us.
100%. You want to hear something funny? Listen, we could do an entire podcast, but I want you to listen to something before I do this podcast. Again, I talk about Joe Rogan all the time. Everybody makes fun of me. Oh, you want to hear about? But listen, he's great. He's great interviews. He interviewed Robert Kennedy Jr. the other day. Dude.
Oh, I that popped up on my thing. I didn't watch it.
Yo, we're gonna do a talking on our next Shootin' the Breeze. You gotta listen to the interview, dude.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how you feel about the vaccinations and stuff like that, but it's again, I don't know what to believe, but he makes a very, very strong argument for the whole.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, so just listen to it, then we'll talk about it. But anyway, we're not here to talk about vaccines and stuff like that. We're in a beautiful place up here, so that's where.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I don't know if they can hear it, but the sound of that fountain in the background.
Yeah.
I'll open the windows tonight. You're going to be on the couch. I'm going to be in the bed.
Yes.
I was joking about the Brokeback Mountain thing. That's not happening. No matter how much you pray, it's not going to happen.
Yes.
But that will put you to sleep in a heartbeat.
What will? The Babbling Brook?
Oh, it's a fountain in a pond. He's a city boy. He has no idea what a brook is. He's just saying the word because he's heard it before. A brook is smaller than a stream.
I don't know.
Which is smaller than a river.
And listen, you know what though? It's funny. That's a great. See, we didn't even. What do you call it? We're gonna segue into something there because you make a good point. I don't know anything about this life, dude. Like I said, in being I grew up in Queens, and I tell you all the time, like I'm not going to go into it, but our vacation was going to Lake George, but it was kind of like staying in a cabin and being on the lake, and running around with your cousins. But I know nothing about I don't know how to hunt. I don't know how to. I can make a fire, I guess, but I don't know how to camp. I could barely pitch a tent. I have to read the instructions to pitch a tent, Or
I don't. I pitch a tent every morning.
Hey, listen.
By the way,
and I could still pitch.
He did not build that fire. I'm just telling you, it's not very big. That was a starter. There's no big logs on there right now. All right.
I mean, absolutely not. So that's what I'm. The point that I was trying to make was, I don't know anything about this, and it's when I came up here, and the first thing I saw was the water, and I saw, you guys all have your campers up here, and I'd have to assume that, like I was saying to you before, everybody's riding around in their golf carts, and everybody, everybody says hello, and I'm sure everybody's very nice, and it's just working class people up here just wanting to get away, like you guys.
It's everyone that drives by will wave, say hello, just good morning. It is such a good vibe up here, and I'm not that type of but it's so relaxing. Everyone waves, nods, and like I've said before, that's one of my pet peeves. If I say hello and you can't even nod your head, and we made eye contact when I say hello, and you can't nod or just mouth hello, I get angry. Up here, and you know my wife, she is not a social person. But she will say hello to everyone.
That's because just it's away from the hustle and bustle of the
Yep.
craziness, whether it be Fishkill or whether it be wherever it is. It's like, because Shannon works up, she doesn't really travel far for work, right? So
No.
she's still in, Fishkill or wherever she is. Like, and even her getting up here is just like a breath of fresh air to, like, her hustle and bustle. And, and I know your wife, she works very hard. My wife, she works very hard. The both of them work very hard. And, everybody needs that escape. And this happens to be you and your wife's escape. And it's really cool.
She was going to come up here right after work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's calling for rain on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Like 2/3 of an inch of rain every day. And it's not like 50%. We have E-Dubs. If you can do me a favor, my weatherman E-Dubs, check Corinth, New York, and see if it's supposed to be 98% rain on Saturday and Sunday.
Now, also, while you're checking on that weather, I was going to bring this up before, but I heard, and I don't know if it's true, that when you say it's 60% weather, 60% rain, I think that means 60% of the state is going to get rain, not 60% chance. Like, you get the whole state of New York, and there's like 60% of the actual state is going to get rain. Not like if you say 100% rain, that means 100% of that area is going to get rain. Somebody explained it to me that way. I guess it makes sense, but I never looked it up.
I am calling bull crap on that.
Okay.
I think you have a 60% chance of rain.
Right.
Not 60% chance of the state. Because if you look at the map, the weather map, you'll see the cloud come down over
right
5%. Well, again, New York's a huge state. It's not New York City
right
and Long Island.
Right.
But to have 60% of the state of New York to get rain would be a huge storm.
Well, I mean, like 60% of, say, the city, like the 5 boroughs. Like if it says New York, I don't know, maybe you're right. You're probably right about that.
You're talking yourself out of that.
Yeah, because that makes more sense what you just said. Because, I don't know, they can't really, like I said, the way the storms come down, like, I don't know, we're going to have to ask a meteorologist.
Last night, it was raining in Wappingers. We're in Poughkeepsie.
Right.
No rain.
Right.
We get 2 miles down the road, and it's soaked. There's mud puddles. There's the spot. Everyone has their wipers on.
So now you're saying, New York there was a 100% chance it was going to rain in New York State, but you don't know where.
No. Now you're confused. No. See, I can look right now. Dude, you just confused the shit out of me. No. Like I said to E-Dubs, who's a weatherman, I could be a weatherman and wake up every day and go, you have a 50% chance of rain.
Of course.
And if it doesn't, I'm right. If it rains, I'm right.
Right.
But it's the town. I could go on my weather app right now and click Fishkill, and it'll give me a different % chance of rain or no rain, or actually it'll say 0. And then I could click on where we are now, and it'll say 50%. It's your area.
Oh my God! What's with all the rain talk? I feel like Seinfeld's going to say that now,
but you confused.
Yeah.
So if it rained in Wappingers, it was 100%. No.
Listen,
E-Dubs?
It's it's a confusing topic, and let's see. Oh, somebody chiming in here. I hear the same, and usually you hear 60% of your city or town. There you go. Thank you, Meg.
Wait, no. Meg, he's thanking you because he thinks you were saying he was right. You're saying I'm right because it's the town and city, not the state, correct?
Guys, listen.
Read what she wrote.
Anybody right now on a Wednesday night doing a show like this right now, just sitting around talking and bullshitting and talking about stuff? See?
Stupid stuff.
Come on. It's not stupid. It's real stuff, man. Come on.
It is.
Well, anyway. But no, the state, and I agree. Sorry, Richie, town or city.
Thank you, Meg. Do you see how he is? He was saying one thing, then he convinced himself the other way, and then he just throws out, so if it rains in Poughkeepsie, it's 100% for the state.
All right, so let's go back to screaming about our feelings.
I got to put some big logs on the fire. I'll let him talk because he's a city boy.
Yeah.
He has no idea what a big log. Wait, actually.
Yeah, well,
he's Irish. He's Irish. He has no idea what a big log is.
All right. So again, my partner has walked away, so leave me to carry the conversation. So gladly, I'll do that for a couple of minutes while he puts a log on the fire. And I got to tell, like I said, I never really knew much about this growing up. I got to tell you, the first time really I ever went camping was the weekend Princess Diana died. And the only reason why I remember that was the first time I went camping, and it's a time and period in, I guess, England's history, not ours, but I guess we all know where we were when we heard about it. And that was the first time ever I went camping. And I wasn't impressed. I really didn't like it. And maybe I went camping 1 or 2 more times after that. But I don't know. This is he's got a camper. This is very nice. And again, maybe because
I have to say, Rich,
Yeah.
this isn't camping.
Right.
This is what you would call glamping.
Okay.
We're in a camper because I grew up in Pennsylvania. We started out sleeping in tents at campsites, which I'm not knocking. Loved it. Had a great time. Met my best friend in the world there doing it. But that was back before you had air mattresses and Sub-Zero sleeping bags.
Okay.
If you had an acorn cap underneath your tent, underneath your sleeping bag, you couldn't sleep all night.
Right.
It felt like someone had their finger in your back.
Right. Exactly.
But you tossed and turned, and you woke up. You had a good time the next day.
Right.
Then we went to what they call the pop-up tent campers.
Okay.
Which is the flat one that you tow behind you. When you get there, you raise the roof, and it's all like canvas.
Okay.
Just slightly better than a tent.
All right.
Because it has an actual top to where the rain doesn't come in the middle.
Okay.
But each side had the canvas. It could still leak in where you sleep.
All right.
So, and when the sun came up, it was hot as hell.
Wow.
But now we're in a camper that has AC, has a fan, has hot water, has gas, has electric,
Okay.
has a shower, has a toilet.
Yeah. So I guess that's really not camping.
We have an awning over top of us right now with lights.
That's true.
We're sitting on a deck.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. We're really not camping. Shannon, you would like this, Shannon. My Shannon. This is something you'd like. This, it's also about the company too. This is really this is nice, and I really appreciate the invite, Josh.
Anytime. But you always said when I told you we're coming up and what I had to do to open up, you're like, it sounds like work.
Yeah.
And it took me like 45 minutes to get stuff going.
Right.
But now we're sitting here and enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a big fire going.
Now, the other thing I'm quite impressed by is that grill, that Blackstone griddle you got there, or grill, whatever it is.
Again, glamping. Yeah. I also have, if you look behind you, do you see that the black pole in the fire pit?
Yes.
That's a stake for what's called a mountain man. And underneath the camper right here, it has 3 things that you slide down over the pole. One's a grill, like an open face grill, so you can cook on it. Another one's a griddle top.
Okay.
And then another one is a tray for charcoal. So if you want to charcoal grill something instead of lighting a fire,
right,
that you can put that tray underneath either the griddle, well, you wouldn't do a charcoal for a griddle, but for the grill, and you could cook steaks over top of that, salmon. But that thing's beautiful. That's a great thing that you can take when you go camping in a tent, whatever, put over your fire. Now, you don't need to bring a grill or a gas something to cook. It cooks right over the fire.
Wow.
But what sucks is when it's July and it's already 95 at 9 in the morning and you got to wake up and start a fire and cook over the fire. Because I don't care where you move, that smoke finds your face.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. It's drawn to you, I guess.
So I was standing there one day and I'm like, I need something to put over my face. And Craig Divney, Billy, his son, goes, well, you need things that will go over your eyes and strap around your head. I'm like, goggles?
Yeah, exactly.
He goes, yeah, goggles. You need cooking goggles.
Needless to say, I mean, you cooked that, I don't know, you cooked the smash burger tacos. Oh my God, it was delicious.
Anyone on TikTok right now has seen the smash burger tacos on the Blackstone. Phenomenal. If you haven't eaten, like, I like burgers, but a smash burger, like you were saying, your son Jack has been trying to work his way through like burgers. Yeah. The smash burger is one of the most flavorful burgers in the world. And that's one thing they say you're not supposed to do is like push the juice out and all that of the meat. Yeah. Because it gets, if you saute those onions and throw that burger. So what we had today was I took a pound of meat, broke it up into 4 balls. Okay. Got 4 tortillas. Okay. Put each one of those balls on each tortilla, flipped it upside down, and then just they have a smash burger press. I don't have one. I use a cast iron skillet. Push down, and it almost fit the entire tortilla. I don't know. I ate 2 of those things in like 30 seconds, dude. They were phenomenal. I wasn't even sure if you chewed it. Oh my God! And listen, you know me, and I'm not a big foodie, and you weren't even finished. Oh no! I didn't even finish my other one. Oh my God! They were good. Grab it from Jack, if you're listening out there, you might be actually the aspect of this, the cooking aspect, dude. You would love this. Oh, the Blackstone, love it. Is the best thing. Listen, that you can cook on right now. Listen, because it Blackstone takes 30 seconds afterwards to clean it up. Throw some hot water on there, and they give you the scraper. Scrape it, push it down the grease chute. You're good to go. Listen, Blackstone, if you're listening out there, we could use a couple free grills, right? Well, I was telling you. Weber was losing something. Now, again, I have a Weber at home. Use it all the time until I got a Blackstone. Okay. That Weber last a long time.
Yes.
Like we used to buy grill every 2 years
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't want to spend the money for the Weber.
Right.
But after a while, after like the 6th year, my wife's like, we just went through 3 grills.
Right.
Let's spend the money. We've had the same Weber for 8 years.
Yeah, it's definitely when you're going to buy a barbecue, you want to buy a good one. I had a really good friend of mine didn't have the room for the one that he had. It was a really good one, and I've had it for years. You just take care of it, you clean it, and it's like you've had it for years. It's
even
great.
The other ones, if you took care of, they still broke down. They rotted. They rusted and everything.
Yeah.
But Weber was starting to lose so much money to the Blackstone because everyone's going to the griddle top.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they now sell. You can take your grill top off, and now they're now selling griddle tops to go on top of the Webers. So they're not. So they have the ability to have a griddle top.
Now, who's in this marketing or who's in this warehouse going? That's geniuses in that department going. You know what? Let's make a griddle and a barbecue.
I'm telling you that guy who said that for Weber.
Come on.
Because if they can get a griddle top that lasts like Blackstone, because there are griddle tops you can buy that rust and warp if you get too hot. Yeah. But Blackstone's just a great griddle. And any griddle top you get the one that drains the grease to the back.
Oh, man. See, again, I don't really know how to cook too good. Again, I'm not really a foodie, but that was delicious. And like I said, now my son's been cooking. I've been eating more. The kid's making pizza. He's making hamburgers. He's like, I told you, like I said before, he got into the culinary arts program at BOCES for next year. And, and he's really taking this cooking stuff. If you want something, buy, whatever tool he needs. Like, and he's really taking it seriously, man. It's like, it's pretty cool. Like I've been eating more because he's constantly making stuff. He's been trying to perfect white pizza. He's been trying to perfect burgers, so he's really thinking out the box too, and my wife's helping because my wife's a very good cook too. So it's like
well,
my wife's in her glory because she likes to cook, and for all these years, like I'm a very bland, terrible. I don't really eat too much. My kids, kids chicken fingers and French fries a whole lot. Now my wife is in her glory because she loves to cook, and now my son's showing a big time interest. So it's like she loves it.
My boys have always, because I love to cook. I love making new things.
Right.
So they're now, my oldest is now getting to an apartment. So now he's like, hey, Dad, how do you make your chicken cutlets? How do you make your Montreal chicken? How do you make this? How do you make that? Because he wants to learn how to do it.
Right.
So but the thing is, they're using, just like you are, like a chicken cutlet to them is how I make it. So if they go somewhere else and they eat a chicken cutlet, they're kind of like,
Yes. I made a big
that's
mistake
not a chicken cutlet.
Too when it comes
but it is to that person.
Yes. No, I made a big mistake at the dinner table.
When Jack listens to this, the key to a smash burger is you got to saute the onions and then put the burger on top of the onions.
All right.
And when you smash it down, it gets into the burger.
Are you listening to this, Jack? You might be listening on TikTok, but I made a big mistake at the dinner table yesterday because, again, my wife, I love my wife's chicken cutlet. She's amazing. But my son yesterday, I had to take my wife into the city yesterday because she had an appointment. So we left early. We were in the city all day. She was at her appointment.
When he says city, he means New York City.
New York City, yes. The city. Not really, but it is. Anyway, go down there. We're down there all day. My son Jack says, when you guys come home, it's like, you're going to have dinner completely made. He made us complete dinner. It's like, yeah, right. So we believed it because he's making it all the time. So calls us, we're running late. Dinner's ready, blah, blah, blah. So we get home. He made us chicken cutlets, potatoes, made a whole big smorgasbord, broccoli. I've been into one of the chicken cutlets, and I can't believe I said it out loud, but Jack, these are better than Mom's. And she was standing right behind me, and I can't believe I said it out loud, but I was like, babe, they're really good. Try one of his chicken cutlets. And she goes,
quick and be like, I meant my Mom's.
Yeah, no, much better than my Mom's. but my wife's chicken cutlets are good, but I was hoping that she would see it as Jack's a real, they would just, I don't know what he did to him. He said he took the extra time to pound them out more. And
so he pounds them out and flattens them.
Oh my God, he is. They were amazing. They really were. They were. I don't know.
That's when I get you can go get 4 chicken breasts.
Yeah,
I'll get now because I have a 21, 19-year-old boys. They eat like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'll take those 8, and I'll make 3 or 4 out of each breast.
Yeah.
Because I just slice them thin.
Yeah. That's what he did. And my wife does that too. But listen, they were slightly better than my wife's. My wife still makes amazing chicken cutlets. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, Jack's onto something, dude.
Hey,
he's onto something.
Good for him. Good for him.
Dude,
we are getting bombarded again. You have something on your shoulder.
Give us a little spray. It's all right. It's for the show.
Ready? Close your mouth. Welcome to upstate New York. There we go.
Yes, the DEET brought to you by DEET mosquito repellent, Mattel products, and the brand new Datsun 280 ZX. Get your DEET now.
Jesus Christ! I know, buddy. Tell him. That's my blind dog. He's all excited. He heard me coughing.
Oh, I love the fact that it's live on TikTok, live on Podbean, and live on video.
And I'm telling you what, right now we're in a campground that has 500 sites, and can you hear anything other than Brody barking and the freaking fountain in the pond?
Yes, it's
crazy.
Yes.
But again, it's Wednesday night.
Exactly. But what is it like on, like, say, a Saturday night?
It's what time is it right now? 10. It's you'll hear yourselves. You'll hear some music here and there.
Okay.
If Sava's up here, that's till 1:30 in the morning, and we get yelled at because he's an idiot. But they at 11 o'clock is quiet time.
Okay.
You can't even be on your golf cart driving around after 11.
I'd have to assume that everybody's up pretty early too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which is good. That's
I've never been here and slept till 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Josh, is a really good chance I'm going to be up at like 4:30 in the morning.
There's a really good chance I'm not. And there's a really good chance I'm going to have the bedroom door shut. Actually, there's a great chance because you're sleeping in the other room and you've been talking about Brokeback Mountain. Nope. I'm sleeping on my back tonight.
Hey, Jose.
I'm wearing drawstring shorts and tying them tight.
Oh man, see, this is it. Guys just have to get together every once in a while and be silly, and that's important for men to do these days, dude. Just hang out with your buddies and get silly.
Dude, again, though, be honest. You're 16 in Queens. Did you think when you were in your 50s you'd be driving with another guy to go camping?
No, absolutely not. And that was going to be another point to my conversation I was going to have with you about definitions of happy place and how it changes through the years. Like, you could ask me at 20, let's say 25 years old. It's like my definition of what I would want my happy place to be is definitely different than what my definition of a happy place is now, because you just at a different point in your life and different things make you happy. Like, 25, I'm single. I don't know what's going on in my life. I really have no direction. I don't know what's going on.
You were single at 25?
Yes, I was.
I was freaking married.
Was I single at 25? No, I was definitely single. I think I was single at 25. I was probably being a jerk to some girl at that point in my life. It was before I met my, the love of my life, Shannon Victoria Murphy, the love of my life. But it changes. It changes. Like, now my happy place is, and I hate to sound like, cliche, is when my happy place is wherever my family is.
Yep.
Now that's
another thing that changes is your definition of family.
Yes. You're right about that, because, well, my definition. Yes, exactly. You think as you perceive it.
Yes. Your perception of what your family is.
No, I'm going to tell kind of a corny story, but I've told my wife this story, but I was living somewhere, and I would go outside, and there was this big tree outside, and I would call, I was a big Dave Matthews fan at the time, and I would.
You told me this. Yeah, go ahead.
The Dreaming Tree.
Yep.
Right, and there was a tree out there, and
my other dog's doing something on campus. Keep talking.
And I was sitting out there one day, and I would sit under this tree, and it's like, just a silly, like, I'm young, I don't know what's going on in my life, and like, it's the Dreaming Tree, it's like. And I would just, sit there and, think about stuff I wanted to do with my life and whatever. But it was really, at the point in my life, is really like I didn't really have too many life experiences, So I would sit there and just like, I don't know where I'm going to be at a certain point in my life. But with that being said, is like, I didn't know where I was going to be at 25. Now at 51 years old, I have a good marriage, a great marriage. I have two amazing sons. And my definition of family is like what's going on now. Is like I'm happily married with two amazing kids that are doing great things, and that's my definition now of a happy place. Whereas I didn't know what my happy place would have been when I was 25. I could say it was like at a club at 7 o'clock in the morning listening to Danny Tenaglia, which was that's some of the funnest times of my life. But was it my happy place for 12 hours? Maybe it was, but then I'd get back out there But my happy place being like the place where you just want to sit down and just like forever. Like, you don't have to stay there forever, but it's a place where you can just go forever and just be there forever. And that's your definition.
6 years ago, my happy place was at the ball field with Sharon and Jack and Maddie.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was our happy place. Yep. The chairs we're sitting on right now, we bought for our happy place.
Yeah.
In right field.
Yeah.
But then after the kids got old and they went, older and went to college, we had to learn how to be Shannon and Josh again.
Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, we met in 98, got married in 2001, had Jack in 2002. So really, we were only with each other for 4 years.
Right.
And then it's been 22 years actually 20 years, 21 years with someone else.
Right.
And then when they leave, we got to go back to being just her and I.
Yes.
And the boys have been part of our lives for 21 years. So every day it was never her and I. It was always you were doing something for your child or children. And then they left. It's like, oh, it's you and I again.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about?
Right. And that's and that's a big thing, because you read that all the time, like, when the kids leave, and that's what used to be, that's the point in your life.
And no one teaches you that.
No, because you know what it is, because no one should have to teach you it, because it's got to be inherent, because you and your wife Shannon, me and my wife Shannon, have a good relationship. So I think that's a point that matter, where it's not where we'd have to kind of, figure that out. Like, and I'm going to answer this live on the air and see how she thinks about this. Okay, this Josh. Hi, sweetheart.
So that is, I hope, his wife, because he said sweetheart.
I'm on my podcast right now.
But it's weird because Shannon and I were together for 4 years, and then we had Jack, and then 21 years, 20 years.
I was literally just about to start talking about you.
He was 20, Maddie left when he was 18, which is so 20 years we had boys in our lives. And it's like, for 4 years, you were young. You knew each other in your early 20s.
Yeah, with Josh.
Do you really?
No.
You do. You've been together for 20 years, but it's like, it's been you and your family. Now it's like, do we still like each other? Can we still hang out and have fun? And we actually learned we can. We got the camper. We love it. We come up, enjoy ourselves. She watches some of her stupid shows, but we have our own shows that we watch at night. We sit down, we have tea and tea biscuits and watch freaking Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Which we never did, because we never had a freaking chance when you have kids in the house, because you're going to a sport, or you're going to this club, or you're doing this, you're eating at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. By the time the boys are in bed and you're done doing dishes, you're bushed.
Yeah.
But after they left, we had to learn how to cook again.
Mm-hmm.
Try to cook for just 2 people, dude, when you have 2 boys.
Hey, and I don't cook, so
it's hard. You know what I'm saying? We had to learn how to cook again. We now eat down in the living room watching our TV show on remember the old TV trays? Fold out.
Yeah.
Now we just have trays. I put our couch cushion on my lap. She's on the other couch. We have our spots. We watch TV. Go to bed.
Yeah, but exactly. But you know what? But if that's what it is, and then, like I said, you break up the monotony a little bit by coming up here, and then maybe, like, one day say, oh, let's go for a walk. But it's got, that's going to change too. Like, you having what you're going through, being retired and stuff like that. You're going through, and pretty soon Shannon's going to be able to retire. Like my wife, Shannon's going to be able to retire. So me and her are going to have, in 3 years, we're going to be going through that, because at that point in 3 years, when I'm ready to retire, hopefully 3 or 4 years, and my wife is ready to do whatever she got to do, like, we could go find that happy place, and just sit there and watch our show, or walk on the beach, because that's where we want to be eventually, and that we will eventually find our last happy place, and just that's where we're going to be, and the kids are going to be there. Well, it's not going to be
your last one, because I'm telling you right now, there's going to be many more places. Because you're 50.
Yeah, 51.
I'm not even in my 50s yet. But you're going to get to your 60s. You're both going to be retired. And then you're going to have grandchildren. Yeah. So there's going to be a different happy place, because now you have your grandchildren.
True. Very true.
So it's like, you're definitely, and like, we got this because we're thinking ahead, and we want to have, because I hate New York.
Yeah.
I hate the weather.
Me too.
But family's here. And depending on where the boys are. But we've already been talking. We want to see the United States. Right. So we want to get an RV and travel.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what tomorrow holds. And that's what I say to her. I'm like, she's like, well, I can't do anything because my parents are still alive. I'm like, I could die before your parents.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today.
Yeah.
You can plan. Like, you know how many people I know who waited until they're 62 to retire, and they worked their ass off, and they saved, they did it, and they died a year later.
Yeah.
They didn't get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're trying to enjoy what we can, and we're not. I just retired. She's still working.
Yeah.
But you got to enjoy every day.
Yeah.
And we're making memories here. We're making memories with her and I with our boys, you know what I'm saying, with our friends. You just came up memory for us right now.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
But we're also trying to plan for the future to where she's like, you know what, I want to go see the U.S. We've gone to Mexico, Jamaica, all the places, but we've never seen Yellowstone. We've never seen the Grand Canyon. We've never been to Arizona. We want to do that. Just get in and drive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, it's a beautiful country. Like, I've never seen the middle of the country. We just came back from California. We went down from, we were up in LA and that whole, bougie area up there, whatever it is. But then we went down south to San Diego, and San Diego was absolutely beautiful. But then it's very expensive to live there. Beautiful places, but there's so much in the middle of there that I've never seen. Like, and I guess shame on me for not ever doing that, but just not having the time.
I was going to say, you don't have the time, you don't have the opportunity. And Brody, she doesn't want you. See, my blind dog knows my other dog's out of here. He has a cookie, and anytime she walks by him, he lets her know she can't have it. But I'm saying about going across it. We have the opportunity to do that. A lot of people can't do that.
Right, exactly.
I do know. A great experience I had was when I was in college. I drove from Pennsylvania out to L.A., and my sister went with me, and she's 5 years older than me. So we're driving, this was back before the internet. You had the intranet.
Okay.
Which was you had to type in stuff to get to a certain portal.
Okay.
So in college, you had like an intranet between colleges, and I was talking to this girl from Iowa, and she was going to the University of Iowa.
Okay.
So on the way out, and again, there's no video, it's just you typing. So it could have been a boy. I don't know. But we were talking for a long time, and I told her I was going out to L.A., and my sister and I stopped. That was our midway point. We stopped there, stayed the night, went out to the bar with this girl, played pool. She went home. It was awesome. We then went to Colorado Springs to meet my buddy Tuffy, who I met camping. Okay. Remember I told you we would go camping in the tent? I met my best friend, Tuffy Council, at 5 years old. Met him.
Okay.
He was in the Air Force Academy out in Colorado Springs. But on the way from Iowa to Colorado, 2 a.m, my sister's sleeping. I'm taking no-dos like they're Tic Tacs because there was nothing driving.
Yeah.
But I do remember I saw lightning strike, and it took me 4 hours to hit that storm. It is so flat out there that you can just see for miles. Now, again, I'm not saying I saw 4 hours away, but the distance that it was, and by the time I caught it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, we came up out of Las Vegas. We were going into Utah, and the mountains in Utah. It's not red rocks as in Colorado, but the stone up in Utah coming down into California, there's nothing like it you can see around here. You know what I'm saying? It's just, this country's so huge and so beautiful, and everyone goes everywhere else to see stuff when there's so much in the United States you can see.
Yeah. And you know what, though? And I guess it's to a point where, going back to how busy people are, because when you think about how busy people are in their lives with work and kids and schedule, it's like you really have time for that one vacation. Everybody's like, I just want to go to the beach. And it's rightfully so, because that's, that's what we do all the time. Like, our instantaneous, like,
Well, we do.
We go to the
people
beach.
in Nebraska, to get to the beach is an airplane ride.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to figure out their home, like their watering hole or their river or whatever, or their lakes. Yeah. But but this is the first time, like, when we went to California, like we saw the beach, but like we really weren't going for a beach. We were literally going for an experience this time, and it really was like the experience part about it was amazing. Like just the 4 of us, and we had an incredible time in California, and we seeing all the sights and just taking it in, and just like just being
But I do have to say though, you were able to do that because your boys were older and could appreciate what you were doing.
Yes, exactly.
Now take it back 10 years and have a 8 and 6 year old.
Yes.
They're not going to want to see LA. And they're not going to want to see San Diego.
It's funny you say that, because that's what me and Shannon were talking about. We were talking about taking them on a different type of vacation because they're old enough, because me and Shannon used to go to the Keys all the time. We would fly into Miami, we'd party at Space or whatever, we'd have a good time, we'd hop in a car, next day, and we would drive to we'd drive to the Keys. We'd stop in Key Largo, the Caribbean Club. We'd stay at the Holiday Inn where the African Queen was. We had this whole little route planned until we got to Key West. And then from Key West, we'd watch the sunset celebration. We had a whole thing. It was beautiful. We used to do it all the time. But I just, our kids were always, I think, like, I guess they were too, young kids don't like to drive like that, stopping here, stopping at Robbie's, feeding the tarpon, stopping here to get this.
Are you serious? You just said Robbie's?
Yeah.
2 days ago, actually, the last time we were up here, I had a Robbie's shirt on.
Get out of here.
From the Keys? Tarpons. Yes!
Dude.
It was a red shirt. Robbie's. They're like, what's Robbie's? I'm like, oh, dude, it's a great place. You can go feed the tarpons, which or scary fucking
I
fish.
listen. I have kind of a funny story
I
about
thought
that.
I was losing Maddie to a tarpon because he was holding it, and that thing, the two of them jumped up.
Yeah, I have kind of a funny story about this. Rewind maybe 23. It's got to be almost 24 years now. Me and Shannon are new. You know, it's like, you know, we're together. She's my girlfriend, I'm my boyfriend. It's like, all right, it's December. You know, I'm an iron worker. I get laid off. You know, because I was it's whatever. You know, I got laid off, and I'm like,
Furloughs.
oh my god. It's like, you know, what am I going to do? I get laid off. It's December. It's almost Christmas. But I was single. And, you know, at the time, we're dating. You know, so she just looks at me. You know, we were going to go to the Roosevelt Field Mall because I was living in Queens at the time. So, you know, it was snowing. She's like, why don't you just go to Florida?
Which is Long Island, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, you want to go to Florida? I'm like, what do you mean go to Florida? Because listen, up until that point in my life, I really never been anywhere. But like, you know, and so she's like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, I'm just going to, she got on the phone. She booked us tickets. I was like, what do you mean we're going on a plane right now? She's like, yeah, we're leaving right now. We're going to go to the airport. JFK is right there. We're going to get on a plane. So I was just like blown away by that. And it was like, I was like, at that moment, I was like, oh my God, this girl's amazing. You know, she, to this day, she still is amazing. But
which back then wasn't easy to do. You can't go online and just be like, here you go. Yeah, book a ticket.
We were on a plane that night going to the Keys. Now, I'd never been there. She just showed me all the sites.
Now, had she been there before?
Yes. It was, and still hopefully is, it was, as she says it, her happy place. Now, she would explain this happy place to me.
Now, when you said the Keys.
Yes.
The Keys are big. You have a lot of little islands, and some of those islands they have houses, but they almost look inhabitable.
She had friends in Key Largo and Isla Morada, and she had a friend of hers, a dear friend of hers, that lived on a boat.
Sav and I go every time we went to the Keys. We stayed in Isla Morada.
Yes,
Pelican Cove.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, like I said, and that was her happy place, and she brought me down there. So you know, and I'm like, you know, so the point I'm making is I lost my point there, but I was telling her, you know, about going to the Keys, and like, you know, and that was her happy place, and she brought me there. You know what I mean? So I was making a point there, but I told the story about the Keys, but I was making a point there.
You're talking about Shannon.
Yeah, I know. And how she exposed me to, like, and it was just so completely caught off guard. Like, you know, let's just go to Florida. I was like, wow, this is great.
So up until that point, where outside of New York did you ever go? Jersey.
I've been to Florida once.
Oh, so you were down to Florida.
But drove, and like it was really I wasn't like really never been anywhere. And like as soon as I met Shannon, my wife, like we just traveled everywhere. You know what I mean? And we had a good time. Like we went all over the place. You know, we went to Mexico, we went to all over the Caribbean. You know, we did all these great trips, and then we settled down and we had kids, and like, you know, progressively that's where I'm at. You know, our marriage and where we are now. Right, 51 and 54. You know, so and it's a good place. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was just really.
Oh, so wait, Shannon's a cougar.
Yeah. Let's just not talk about that. Right? She might be listening.
You just threw that out too.
But listen, I tell my wife all the time, and I'm being listen, full disclosure, 100% honestly. I don't mind. Like she minds, but like my wife's beautiful. I look at her and it's like
age is just a number.
Yeah, man. You know, it's
and a feeling.
Yeah.
Because I'm 47. My mind says I'm 24.
Yeah.
But when I do something, I'm 62. Like my back hurts right now from just sitting in this chair.
No.
So I just gotta say, we're glamping, but I'm still pulling drinks out of a cooler. All right, it's not that type of glamping.
Yeah, it's no, yeah, exactly.
Alan, get over here. You're not supposed to be unhooked. Sorry.
All right, so excuse me.
But so to get back to for those that have never been to the Key West.
Yes.
It is not if you're driving from Miami.
Sorry, that's the point. I was making a point. Let me just get back to my point. I'm sorry. Let me just rewind to my point. The point I was making.
I'll forget.
The point I will forget because I forgot twice already.
No, I'm saying whoever's listening, just remind me that I was talking about the road out to Key West until Slick Rick here jumped in and because he had a mind fart.
The quick point I'm trying to make is like we decided to go to California because that's a trip that they could have taken at that age because they wouldn't have appreciated it. No, but the point I was going into is the fact that we would decide to either take them to the Keys. Bam. That's the point I was trying to make. See, right back at it. Going to take them to the Keys. Robbie's. Here we go.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yes. Now, Robbie's. I had never been to the Keys before, right? So my wife says we're going to go to this place called Robbie's, where you're going to get a bucket of fish and a 6-pack of beer, and you're going to feed the tarpon. So I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? I never, So we're driving and whatever, and we get there, and she's like, I walk in. dude, I get there, first time I'm there, I'm on 6th gear. She's like, listen, you got to kick it back to about 1st gear because nobody's in 2nd gear here. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I learned that. So get this place. I go there, I get a bucket of fish, and I get a 6-pack of beer. $6. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. So I sit down, put my feet over the edge, and she's like, just feed the tarpon. So I throw a fish in. About 1,000 of these things come jumping up out of the water, and like literally like.
And people, they're not fish like this.
No, they're big. They're like that.
They're
big. They're like that big.
4 foot.
A couple of small ones are mixed in, but it adds to the drama of like the scuffle.
Yes, and it's just water splashing.
Listen, if you guys have never experienced going down, if you guys gone to the Keys and you haven't stopped at Robbie's to feed the tarpon, dude,
do it. I have it on my phone.
It's an insane experience.
Bad. You drop that. One person drop. I saw someone almost fall off the dock because it was such a commotion in the water. It scared them. One jumped up, almost got her hand. It's just not a big pier either.
No.
Either side, there's people are walking. And she went like this, walked. Luckily, someone was there and stopped her.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've been there, but the point that I was making about the trips is like my kids, we had a great time in California doing the sightseeing type stuff. And I think that's a trip that they can handle now, flying into Miami and driving to the Keys. So I think they did enjoy that. I think they would enjoy it just because where we're at now as a family, because we experience and they want to experience and see what it's like.
But when we went down, our boys were probably 15 and 13 and then 16 and 14. Key West is not a Jersey beach.
No,
it is not for kids.
No.
It is an adult
beach town.
getaway.
Yeah. It's not a beach town. Yeah.
Like we drove from, I think we were Isla Mirada, then we went Isla Mirada, then we went to a couple down. And getting back to that, if it's a 1-lane road, and you get behind an asshole and being from New York, we're going somewhere.
Slow down.
We're going somewhere. There's no every time there's a passing lane, there's cars coming. When there's no passing lane,
come on, that 7 Mile Bridge is awesome.
But we drove.
7 Mile Bridge is awesome, dude.
Awesome, unless you're behind someone going 35.
No, that might have been me because taking in the sights because it was beautiful, dude.
All right.
Bro,
we agree to disagree.
Listen, the Keys, I learned very quickly down there.
Let me get back to my point.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Key West, they dropped us off in a bus, and we started walking down, and they had the best. We stopped in Peppers of Key West, and I would order sauce from them every year. Okay. Best sauces everywhere. You could try any one. They had ones that were like, no kidding you, $3,000 a bottle. And they would let you sample it to see how hot it was.
Get out of here.
So then we get into the main town, and we have a 14-year-old, 12-year-old, and then Steven's 12, and then Dylan, I think, was 8.
Okay.
So you're thinking, all right, let's go to an arcade. Let's go to a gift shop. It was bar, restaurant.
Yeah.
We walked 7-8 blocks to find one ice cream shop.
Right.
So when you go down there, don't take kids. It's not like the Jersey Shore.
Right. But you know what, though? But if you do, I think if you delve into the Keys a little deeper, I think, it's not a beach town. I understand that. But I think that there's a lot of history there.
You say the Keys. I'm talking about Key West.
I'm talking about Key West as well.
All right.
Because, listen, I say the Keys, listen, let's go
Everyone thinks Key West. When they say Keys, Key West is what they think of.
When I think of that kind of Keys, like my wife has showed me Key Largo, and she showed me places like that, and Isla Mirada. That to me is like she said, like she had friends there. That's her happy place, and she brought me there, and that was really cool. And it's a very different type of atmosphere. We haven't been there in a long time, but yes, when you get to Key West, it is a different atmosphere.
It's a party town.
Anything goes down there, party town. Yeah. But I do think, if I took my kids down there, if you go down to the sunset celebration they have every night down there,
but you got to stay off of, I think, Key West.
And Mallory Square. Mallory Square is cool, dude.
I was never on the other side of the highway I was just down by the big buoy, southernmost point, all those bars. I never went above.
The Hemingway House is cool.
See, I never went there. All right,
the Hemingway House is cool. We have me and my wife. How about you could get a brick down there. I forgot the name of the park that I would say, but we bought a brick. It has our name when we met and everything. It's really cool, actually. But I know you can see the Hemingway House.
Is that in your house or down there?
No, it's down there. It's down the Keys. Yeah, it's out. I think it's by. I think it's close to. They have a sculpture or a statue of Ernest Hemingway down there. You ever heard the legend of the six-toed cats down there? There's cats that hang out around Ernest Hemingway's house down there in the Keys, which is a beautiful Josh, the houses down there are unbelievable. Have you ever seen a show called Bloodline?
Oh, great! Yes,
Bloodline. That's
the guy from Friday Night Lights.
That's where Bloodline takes place down the Keys.
Yeah.
Yes, and the reason that they didn't have a 4th season, they had to throw real together for a 3rd season, is because the people in the Keys were tired of having the film down there. But 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 well, back to my point about the kids being down there. There's like the Hemingway house, the houses, just walking around the neighborhoods. They're beautiful, the beautiful old homes, and there's a lot of history down there. And it's just like the ocean's beautiful. I'm not saying they're going to hang out there for 4 days, but I think 2 days in Key. I think a 5-day trip. Like my kids would like going into the Caribbean Club because they've seen they've seen Casablanca and Key Largo, and I showed them Humphrey Bogart movies and stuff. And
I'm basing it off of the 5 hours we were there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Getting off
I spent a good amount of time in the Keys.
And I was in one certain area trying to find an ice cream shop.
Right.
And we walked 7-8 blocks.
And also, like you said, I've never been there with kids, but I'm not with kids, and we're with young men. Young men. Yep. You know what I mean? Who are probably into that. Like Jack will probably like, holy shit, that's Ernest Hemingway's house. Like maybe I read, or Aiden will be like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's so and so, and like they'll have something to contribute. Right. So I don't know. It's and like I said, I think that's a trip that will be next. Like for the 4 of us, we'll fly into Miami, and
again, there's a difference between flying into Key West, and flying into Miami and driving through all the Keys, right? Because some of those
that's what we want to do, though. That's the thing.
But I do have to say, no, that wasn't. Oh, come on. There are some of those islands you don't stop to do anything. No, they're drive-through islands.
They drive through, but the whole
kind of like the country song "Fly By States." They're drive-through islands.
But dude,
there's some where you can see like, ooh, because we went down after the hurricane. It's like, they're still living in here? Yeah. But then you'll hit Isla Mirada, and it's like beautiful. Yeah. And again, it's not like you think of Miami. It's not big buildings. It's not this. It's just here's a good restaurant. Here's a place. Here's drive-through. Well, like Key West is like the biggest key.
Like we haven't been there probably literally like since Aiden's 18. We haven't been there in like 19 years. Like admittingly, but I mean it might have changed since then. But I would still like I think I would like to take the kids out. I really do think that they would enjoy it. I really do.
They probably now, yeah.
That makes me want to go to the Keys. Look at that. Congratulations, Ketchum softball. I guess Ketchum softball won, huh? Oh, fourth team
all state.
Yeah, whatever. Dumb notifications. Congratulations to the Ketchum baseball team for winning. For the Ketchum baseball team for winning their championship, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, they won the state title.
Good for them.
Ketchum baseball.
Yes, good for them. Good for them.
And the rivalry of the 2 high schools.
Yes.
Wappingers Little League had a huge dig on John Jay baseball.
I hear that. Yeah, you told me about that today.
Yeah, I should try to find they posted on either their Facebook or their Twitter account. This is the Wappingers Little League with a picture of Ketchum baseball team holding the state title on the field and said, "This is what happens when your coach allows you to play Little League baseball."
Yeah.
Which was a huge dig at John Jay and Frank.
Little League baseball is very important. And
Little
that's
League and Senior League, when you get to majors, it's still... Because you're playing with the same people. You're still... It's...
Yeah.
But we won't go any further.
Yeah. Let's digress.
We're both kind of jaded.
So, all right. Now, we talked about this beautiful place we got up here. We talked about baseball. We talked about everything in between. We were talking about screaming before. We're just shooting the breeze. So,
100%.
Yeah. But
how do you feel since you got up here? And hold on. How was the hammock that I threw up between the 2 trees?
Yeah.
And can you describe the hammock?
Yes.
Because you know my wife. Right. You know Square Shannon.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, first off, the hammock is fantastic. You sit in it, and it's like it wraps you up like you're in a cocoon. Now, I'm not a big guy. I'm a small-framed guy, but I laid in that. He gave me a pillow, and it literally wrapped me up like a cocoon. So the hammock gets an A+. A+. Now, the minute I got up here, you know what? The minute I actually started driving, I knew like we were around it because you said Saratoga. The minute we were driving up here, and just because we talked the whole way up, so we really didn't look at too much of but I knew like once we pulled into Saratoga, and I'm like, oh, it's a different place. It's like it's not Fishkill. It's not New York City. So I don't know. Then when I got here and I saw it, just me and you hanging out, I was like, I feel like a sigh of relief, like, in fact that I'm getting away from, just getting away from just like, just getting out to breathe for a couple of minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like I said, it's important, and I think it's really the quietness, I think, is what is the draw, I think, for a lot of people, men that get to a certain point like us, like the quietness, I think, because, of our go lives, and everything's just loud sometimes. Like, and and that's how that's how I describe a lot of things. And the point I'm making with that is when somebody asks me like, how you doing? Or like, and I've and I have, listen, I've mentioned many times in this podcast, for the first time in my life in the last year and a half, somebody asked me how I was doing, and I said, not doing, no, I'm not doing good. So, and I think men.
Wait, you have said that?
I have said that. Like, remember when it was just, how you doing? It's like, I'm okay. Oh, I'm all right.
I'm fine.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's like, and somebody had looked at me like, about a year ago and says, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm not okay. And I think as a man, over the age of 50, I wasn't okay at that time.
Right.
And again, it's just been a bunch of stuff.
But most people can't say that.
No. But I think, and that means, and I think you need that quietness in your head to really come to the conclusion that it's not okay.
I was just going to say that when you were talking about it was loud, and it's not just outside.
Yes.
It's loud in your head.
No, you could be sitting in solitude and still be loud.
Like last night, I was trying to go to sleep, and Brody was on the bed, and he was on my side. I couldn't sleep. But in my head, I was thinking, all right, so I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got to do this tomorrow. Shannon wants me to do this. And then I'd be like, all right, no, go to sleep. Next thing I know, oh, wait, should I set an alarm for this?
Yeah.
Do I have to make a reminder for this?
Yeah, see, my loudness is like I said, it's not just somebody like banging a drum in my head. Like, I explain it to like, everything's just so loud, and when I say that, I mean, it's like when you close your eyes and you really try and like disappear, it's like, there's just so many thoughts. Like, my thoughts are like, all right, am I doing the right thing? As like, am I a good dad? Am I being a good husband? Should I went about this the right way? Or did I go about this the right way? I was like, yeah, I'm doing the great. Or I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm not. It's like, that's what I mean by the loudness. And sometimes, like, and just recently in the last, like, it was really loud for a while, but like in the last 2 months, it's been quieting. And like in the last like couple of weeks, it's been quieter, and it's slowly, it's getting quieter. And by quieter, and again, I don't mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like in a metaphorical sense, meaning like dealing with stuff, and it's slowly, it's getting dealt with, and slowly knowing where priorities are, and slowly just like knowing, like at 51, like, all right, I'm going to be all right. I said that I wasn't good, but it doesn't mean that I'm not good now.
Right.
You're allowed to say it's not good at that moment.
Just like I said last week when I broke down, and I was in, like, I'm not depressed. I'm not saying that but I'm also not saying I have a bad life.
Right.
But people with good lives and people that aren't depressed still have problems, still have things that stress them out.
Of course.
And the fact that I was able to get that out last week was huge.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is we've been up here since we got up here at what, 6:30? No,
roughly
7:00. We didn't stop until we sat down here.
Yeah.
I was getting the stuff ready.
Just a seltzer.
Yeah. Seltzer. You were getting this ready. I was getting the camper ready, dinner ready. Walk the dogs. You're setting stuff up. You have my freaking chair off the deck.
Off to the side.
He had his chair sitting right here.
Listen, I just figured everybody
his
wanted to see me. His
microphone's bent. Mine standing straight up over there on the other side of the camper. They have streets named after him. They're called Asshole, not One Way.
I've lived most of my life on that street, so.
No, but we haven't stopped since we got up here.
Yeah.
But I got to say, though, the hammock we have is not the typical hammock of like the mesh type of rope going through.
Yes.
It's a fabric.
Yes.
Tie-dye.
And I have to say, I like the funky colors.
Yes.
That's definitely
a
draw.
But it's also the one where if you lay in it, it goes right up around you.
Yeah. I
thought
it comes in a cocoon.
And it stays straight out.
Yeah.
Only one person can lay in that. And it just cocoons you. 100% cocoons you.
Yeah. It's almost like, you go back to like when you're like in the womb. It's like, oh, I'm so comfortable. But no, it's cool. I like the psychedelic colors and everything. Did Shannon pick out the color?
Actually, my mother, who is part hippie.
Part hippie.
Back in her heyday before she had children. But yes, she got that for us for Christmas. And my wife, who's from Long Island, and babe, I love you, but you are square as square can be. You have more black and white outfits than Wednesday Addams. But she loved it.
All right.
And and you saw it. We had the straps, eco-friendly straps going around each tree. And I could sleep in that tonight. But like you said, if it wasn't for the bugs.
Yeah. Listen, if I could sleep in that, if you sprayed the entire thing with DEET, and I just had a DEET force field,
buddy.
if I had a DEET, I've had a DEET force field, that would be a lot better. But yeah, back to the loudness and the quietness. Like, my head is becoming a lot more quiet lately, which is which is a good thing, and just allows you to focus on more positive things, and that's what's
I'm sorry, but my blind dog keeps coming off his bed and can't find it again. And then my seeing dog just keeps putting her head on my lap. Brody, would you lay down, Bubba?
Now, somebody says, I hear you're looking for a griddle. I don't know who that is. It's just because whenever these the Podbean names come up, it's like the NASA
Who
password.
is CKK?
Yeah. Anyway.
And I'm not looking for a griddle. I have a griddle, and I made a very good, and Rich can say, smash burger taco.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I have no idea what happened, but we had Chick-fil-A sauce in there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put that on the burger.
I didn't know. Chick-fil-A sauce goes good on everything.
Oh, dude.
I literally put Chick-fil-A sauce on bread and eat it. It's like nothing between it, just the sauce and bread.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. All right, question. Okay. I have no idea how to use this. Oh.
Yeah, you updated your name, but it's still CKK. Oh, all right.
Lauren. Lauren. It's Lauren is part of the Queen's crew. She's like another part, like my little sister. It's like we grew up together, you know.
All right.
She's lives out Long Island. We just talked about Long Island today.
So we did on the
Lauren, if you could have been in the car on the way up, we bashed Long Island left and right.
Yes and no. All right, Lauren. So you're from Queens and you moved out east. How far out east did you move? Because you know Long Island, from Queens, east is Nassau.
Just like
in
when
Nassau, it's Islip. And then you go out far east, you're in the Hamptons. All right, Lynbrook. All right, I had a house in Wantagh. So Lynbrook, we almost bought a house in Lynbrook. But what I got to say, though, is Rich and I were talking. If you live on Long Island and your family's on Long Island or the city, Long Island's nice. But if you live on Long Island and you have to leave Long Island, it sucks.
Long Island, whatever. That's like nothing good to say about it.
Every highway, it could be one in the afternoon.
Nice beaches, I guess, but it's hard to get to them.
The Seaford's very nice. Yes, Seaford. I used to work in what the hell is it? Right by
Long Island.
Wow,
Long Island. It's all Long Island.
It's Long Island. Long Island. Oh, it was right by Seaford. It was the Cablevision shop. Newport. There you go. Newport. Yeah. But
whatever with the Long Island talk.
Yeah, the highways suck.
It's right. My sister, same humor. It's right by Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island. And does anyone know what a flit is?
Ooh, now we're getting a little territory. Anybody from Long Island listening out there? Okay, Long Island sucks.
My wife's from Long Island.
Yeah.
My boys were both born on Long Island.
Yeah. But all right, let's say something positive about Long Island. I don't know if you're into vineyards. I know Long Island's got a lot of nice vineyards. Is that true?
I have no clue. I'm not going to bash Long Island.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was down there. The freaking bagels, the pizza, the bread, the rolls, the egg sandwiches. You can't get anything like that outside of Long Island. And my wife said that, and I thought, being from PA, she would go, "Oh, the pizza here sucks."
Yeah.
Again, we talked about food is how you grew up and how you ate it. Pizza to me was Little Caesars.
My God, did you really just say that?
Because, dude, we had Pizza King, which if Lock Haven people hear this, they're going to yell at me. It sucked. Their pepperonis turned into little saucers and were just filled with grease.
You know, yes.
But once I got out to Long Island, and my wife, Long Island, you know, sorry, I can't say this because you don't know because you're a New Yorker. If you're a New Yorker out of New York and they're talking about, we got the best this, we got the best that, you're like, you're a fucking New Yorker. No, it's not. But yeah. I'm telling you, even we're not up. We're upstate now. We're halfway upstate, but where we live is quarter of the way upstate.
Right.
Their bagels, their bread, their rolls, their egg sandwiches, their pizza is not like Long Island.
Yeah.
Stuff or even Brooklyn.
Yeah. But you know what? Again, you bring up,
what comes from? I'm not
being
a smart ass.
No, you bring up a good point though.
You never hear of. Let's go to Queens for pizza.
Yes, you do.
I've heard Brooklyn, never heard Queens.
Yes, there's a couple of really good Staten Island. You go to Danino's in Staten Island.
Staten Island. All right.
You go Staten Island's got a good pizza place. Queens, you go to Rosa's Pizza. Rosa's Pizza's on Fresh Pond Road. That's got great pizza. New Park Pizza. New Park Pizza is close to Rockaway. New Park Pizza is I don't know if my Queens got people out
I
there,
don't
but
know
New Park
because we
pizza
just
is
started-
unbelievable.
We just started to talk about New York, but are you saying PAK is PAK or is that your New York Park?
New Park.
New PAK.
It's in Ozone. I'm pretty sure. See,
Dude,
exactly.
As soon as I brought up,
I gotta
Queens
defend-
doesn't have pizza. You went to New PAK.
I gotta defend Queens pizza. That's
like
it. Gotta defend.
Tupac.
Listen, there is not too many good.
Tupac
There is
can rap,
not too
and
many
Tupac
good
has
things
pizza.
about Queens. But I'll tell you right now, their pizza. Look, New Park Pizza it's Ozone Park.
Hold on. B-dubs, you are correct. When I go for a good bagel, I go to Empire in Fishkill. I've tried them all over, even egg sandwiches. And I was a diehard. What's the one over by the split of 5282? That deli right across from the baseball field.
Oh, Convenient Deli.
Convenient.
New
Convenient
owners.
Deli. Before the new owners,
Yes.
had very good egg sandwiches.
Yes.
They got the new owner. I won't go there.
Yes.
How do they change?
I don't know.
Shannon was like, anytime we ordered, even my buddy from Pennsylvania, Chad,
Yeah.
we took him over there to get egg sandwiches.
Yeah.
He drove around one time because we weren't up. He wanted to find it. He went somewhere else. He's like, that's not the same.
Yeah.
I took him back after the new owner. He's like, that's not the same. It's horrible.
It's not. They used to make the best chicken cutlet, bacon and cheddar with the Thousand Islands dressing or something. It was unbelievable. They don't make it. Well, they make it, but it's not the same.
Nope. I don't go there now.
No.
But Ben, you are correct. Empire Bagel. And I also like Bagel World up in Wappingers by the bowling alley.
Yeah, my sister Megan, by her on Route 6 over there. I don't know what that bagel place is called, but my wife loves it. It's on Route 6 over there before Danbury, right off of 84. Somebody could help me out with that. But those bagels are fantastic. Every time we go over that way, my wife wants to stop over there to get bagels from over there.
All right, so Meg's saying Happy Days Pizza.
Bagel Man.
Was Richie there?
Happy Days. No, Happy Days Pizza was on Northern Boulevard. Yep, Happy Days Pizza was on Northern Boulevard, and that's a pizzeria. We used to go to
Northern Boulevard.
Yeah,
Northern Boulevard through Queens and into Long Island.
Right into Long Island, because you know what? Listen, guys, I hate to break it to you, but Queens is literally just an extension of Long Island.
It is. It's Eastern Long Island. Is what it is. I worked in
Western Long Island.
Western, sorry.
Yes,
Eastern,
you gotta get your bearings.
Oh, Jesus. I just got flipped around. God damn it, I'm doing so good.
Long Island.
But I worked. Here's a kid from Central PA, and his first job outside of PA was in Jamaica, Queens.
Get out. What the hell are you doing in Jamaica, Queens?
I was working in the Verizon.
I think I'm coming to 103 precinct.
No. When I became a cop, I was in the Bronx.
Okay.
But when I first moved to Long Island, I was in the cable company, and we worked in the Verizon building right off of the Jamaica Queens train stop.
Okay.
It was 2 blocks off of that.
Yeah, I know. I worked.
And it's the first time I ever had oxtail, and I hate it. I'm telling you. But you know what? I had my first Jamaican beef patty right there.
Really?
Loved it.
Yeah.
We went to Jamaica and had it there. And you can buy them in like BJ's. They're not the same. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm saying buy the BJ's the store. Damn it, Rich. Get your mind out of the gutter.
That wasn't even where I was
Go
going.
back mountain twice and look where you go. But it was a real Jamaican in that deli, that restaurant.
Okay.
Because they had the oxtail, and I was working with people from Jamaica and all that.
Yeah.
They would, here, try this.
Yeah.
It was gamey. It was greasy. Didn't like it. The bone was in it.
Yeah.
Number one, if I got to chew and pull a bone out, not doing it. But again, our culture.
Right. Exactly.
But the beef patty was very close when I was in Jamaica, the beef patty.
Yeah, because I worked over by a Jamaica train station a while ago. I was there for like 2.5 years. We built when they rehabbed the train station over there, when the air train was first built.
Yeah.
I was over there for probably
I was going from the airport.
I was there for about 2 years, and we did the train station over there, and we worked nights sometimes, like all through the night, and the guys would go get these little restaurants that were open. Listen, I'm not again, I'm not a big foodie or whatever, but they would eat the oxtail, and they said this is the best food in the area. I don't know, but then there was also Kennedy Fried Chicken on the corner too. So
that was the best. Again, Central PA boy. Moved to Long Island, working Jamaica, Queens.
Kennedy Fried Chicken's good.
Went to Newport, Long Island, working in Cablevision. Became a cop. Went to the Bronx, and we're walking around. And he goes, "Hey, do you want to go to KFC?"
Yeah.
KFC to me is
Kentucky
Fried Chicken.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm like, "Where's a where's the KFC? They're like, oh, right down here on the block. We pulled out. It's Kennedy Fried
Yes.
Chicken.
Listen, it's
Open 24/7.
Yes, it's good. It's good. There's a good chance. There's a good chance you get a little bit of a different feeling when you go to Kennedy Fried Chicken because the chicken's good, but a bullet maybe fly by your head. I don't know,
Oh, I went there for food.
but it's good chicken though, man.
I went there for food and calls.
Well, it's good chicken. Some people risk their lives to go get the chicken sandwich over there.
God, yeah.
But yeah, I worked over there for a little while. But yeah, that's.
But did you ever see the Kennedy Fried Chicken and pizza?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, get a terrible slice of pizza, and
It was KFC and pizza.
Up here we have A&W, right? It's A&W and KFC. Aren't
Yeah,
they
that's
together
right
up
down by
here?
Sam's. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I remember A&W. It's not the A&W that I remember.
No, it's not.
There was an A&W that my aunt used
They
to
had
take me
good
to in Staten
burgers and
Island.
stuff.
Good burgers, literally like the A&W root beer floats. Oh my god, with the vanilla ice cream. And we'd go there, and I remember it was on Staten Island, but I remember it was like an old looking feel. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a, but this is like, Kentucky Fried Chicken on one side. It's kind of like a fast food place. This didn't look like a fast food place.
It's a drive-through place.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it was.
You don't see those A&W anywhere, really.
No, you don't.
I'm surprised.
I think there's one way up
but
Route 9.
that's hidden way out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're driving up, and again, met my wife living in Pennsylvania. Before we moved to Long Island, I was doing a cabling job, and we were working up in Boston.
Right.
I was putting telephone systems into the post offices all around Boston, and every week we would drive up 84,
right
down 84. Again, growing up from PA, the only place I went to was the Jersey Shore, Maryland. That's it.
Yeah.
So we're driving up and down, and when you're on 84, it's woods, it's mountains, it's woods, it's mountains. All of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck is Poughkeepsie? And why is there a 6-lane road and 7 hotels, and then woods, Danbury? You drove up 84 for 50 miles and nothing. Then all of a sudden, 6, and to the right, it's a 4-lane road and darkness. To the left, it is 7 hotels and a thoroughfare. I'm like, what is going on in Poughkeepsie?
Everything going on in Poughkeepsie.
Fast forward, that was 1999.
Yeah.
Jack was 6, so that was 2008. 9 years later, I'm living right off of that road.
Yeah. You know what's funny too is like where Home Depot is, that abandoned building over there.
Yeah.
That used to be the Duchess Mall.
Yes.
Now
The mall.
Yeah.
Sava said he would travel from Westchester up to the mall.
My parents moved to Brewster in 93, and the mall was open. The Poughkeepsie Galleria was open, but if you wanted to go, the Danbury Mall wasn't really that big at the time. So go to a different mall and go.
Was the Poughkeepsie Galleria the South Hills Mall?
That's right. That wasn't even there yet. That's right. We would go to Danbury Mall all the time because that had first opened up. Then
the Galleria, the mall was the South Hills.
So there was
mall,
one day me and my sister drove up to let's try this new mall. Went to it was the Duchess Mall. It was like a small mall, but it wasn't even really. It was like
what
busy.
Was in there?
It was like Busy Bee. I don't know if any of my Queens people remember Busy Bee on Main Street, but that's what it was like. It was like an open air like market or whatever. I don't know. It was just weird. But yeah, that's all abandoned now, man. Like right by the golf course too. It's all abandoned. Yes.
And it's been abandoned for a long time. Why has no one torn it down or bought it up for an old age home?
I don't know. Why hasn't maybe I don't know, but it's been abandoned for a really long time. You would think like a big Lowe's is already up there. You would think one of these big. Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe somebody can't.
It's right off of 84. Lowe's is
maybe it's
9
condemned.
miles up 84. But again, a lot of stuff is built right around for truckers and for this and for that.
Right.
But that's a perfect spot. But
you want to hear something crazy though? I don't know if maybe it's a political thing. I don't know. I don't want to get too political about that, but. There has to be people living in there, dude. Because I drove, when I left the golf
course behind it.
Right. I was like, let's see what the hell's going on over here, So I made a left, and I was like, the roads are like all shaky, and they're all boarded up, and there's little holes in the wall, but it's a huge space, but it's all boarded up, and there's like shopping carts and stuff. I bet there's people living in there, dude.
There could be squatters, 100%.
Well,
there's no running water. There's no electricity.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what's going on in there? Like, why wouldn't people go in there and find out what's going on in there?
You know what? We should do a Geraldo Rivera, like when he did the opening Al Capone's tomb. Remember that?
Yeah, dude. But
we're gonna open the Duchess Mall.
I think we should send E-Dubs in there. I think we should sit out in the parking lot and do a podcast. And
E-Dubs doesn't like any white condiment. He's not going into a boarded up building.
Where is he? He just commented.
He just jumped in.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. Yeah, man. We are sending you in with a microphone and a camera. It's going to be hidden because there might be crazy people in there.
He will be quarantined. He'll quarantine himself for 2 years.
Yes, I think so. I think, you know what, that's going to be your assignment, dude.
You know what? We should put a camera on him and just one of those ones that hang in front of his face as he walks through. Dude, we would win so many awards and we would be just on. Hot dog cost me. Don't try to change the subject, E-Dubs. You're going into the Duchess Mall with Eric, no gloves and no mask.
Listen, Eric, I'm going to put this out there on the Murph and E-Dubs show next time we do it, the episode 40, and people are going to take a poll. If the poll says you go in there with rubber dishwashing gloves, a snorkel, and a video camera, I think it's going to have to be. Because I want to know what's going on there, and you're damn sure I'm not going in there. We miss you, E. Come back soon, buddy. Enjoy your freaking your baseball world tour.
You and Ben.
Yes.
And
wow, look at this. Jeez,
B-Dubs. Were you Benjamin on Facebook Live? TikTok Live? Because I had a Benjamin talking to us.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to talk back on TikTok Live.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, later you're gonna have to. I guess you could talk, but I don't know.
I don't know. You can't even type. I can't see. There's nowhere to send a message.
Yeah.
I tried.
Well, the powers that be are not allowing you to text back. That's the reason. Because isn't TikTok going by China or something? Did I just say that out loud? Are they going to ban you from there?
Everything's from China, and we have 0 people watching right now. But guess what? We don't care. We're having fun.
Yeah.
We are in the Catskill Mountains.
There's people watching right now.
No, there's 0.
But there's people commenting.
No, that's just shit popping up on the bottom.
No, whatever.
It's like I'm talking to my dad right now, trying to explain stuff. Talk to him.
Yo,
hey, what is this boob tube going on here? And there's a video.
Speaking of that, dude, how funny are those commercials where the people are walking and they got to teach them how to not to be like their parents?
Oh my god, it's a insurance one,
dude.
The best one is the guy in the fucking. Sorry for swearing.
No, go ahead.
In the elevator.
Yes, the best one when he turns around and he's looking at all the people.
Do you see how everyone else is facing?
Dude, that's the best one. Because you know what? I do that, dude. I do that.
And he walked out. He's like, nope, I gotta do it again.
Notice how everybody's facing this way and you're facing this way? And the guy's just like, hey, how you doing?
Oh, the penthouse.
Dude, I do that.
Oh, I'm the same guy.
Oh, my God.
My wife hates it because I will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't like uncomfortable silences.
Well, yeah. But you know what the crazy part about it is? I don't have anybody to stop me with that instance because my wife is the same way. She'll talk to anybody. So it's like we don't have anybody to stop each other in those instances because my wife's just like me.
When I say hello and they don't say hello, I'm like, they didn't say hello back. She goes, you didn't have to fucking say hello.
Yeah. Like you used to be able to, me and my wife used to be able to literally go to the beach, literally by ourselves, sit down on the beach. You know, the beach slowly get crowded. Literally, we'd be talking to everybody by the end of the day, the both of us. So it's not like one of us is quiet and one of us isn't. Like
my wife was like that. Bella, lay down. But now she talks to people, especially up here.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's good.
What's funny is, all right, so right behind us, I don't know if you can see, like I said, there's 400. There's over 500 spots. So that looks like a fire. It's not. It's actually the light on the pond. But right
place is burning down, guys. We gotta go.
There's a fire in the pond.
We gotta go. Place is burning down.
Call the
fire department.
But right behind
just
my
kidding.
Dog's wagging tail. He's the blind one, by the way.
Yeah.
But they're called transient sites, so people will pull into those sites.
Okay.
And there was 2 spots down, and this lady walks by, and my wife just woke up. She'll come up on Thursday. She works inside the camper Friday. So she came out to get her coffee. She had to start work at 9. Comes out at like 8:25. She's having her coffee. I walk the dog as I come back, and I saw this lady walk by. She's in the transient one. She comes back. I just say hello. Mm-hmm. Just like a typical hello.
Okay.
Not like hello, let's talk.
Okay.
She says hello and then proceeds to walk her dog up onto our campsite. And my wife gave one of those
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Like, I just want to enjoy my coffee.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
She proceeds to tell us her life story.
Mm-hmm.
She's 29 with 4 kids.
Okay.
With her husband.
Wow.
From Michigan.
Nice. Okay.
And have been touring the United States in their camper.
Okay.
With 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Wow. Did you know anything in particular, like she calls soda pop?
I That's why my wife dislikes me, because when she started talking, I went inside the camper and left Shannon sitting there talking to her. And she continued to talk and talk until Shannon finally, I heard Shannon go, all right, I have to go into work. It's 9 o'clock. She came in. She's like, you're an asshole. I'm like, what? I was making the bed.
I got a quick. I don't even know if I tell the story, but it's kind of funny actually. I won't even tell.
Tell it now. Come on.
Me and my wife were on vacation. This is pre-kids.
And the keys.
No, we had taken one of those. You go to Fort Lauderdale. You fly into Fort Lauderdale. You stay in Fort Lauderdale, and then you go on a little cruise to the Bahamas. And then you come back. We took a quick little thing to see if we like cruises.
Back before the kids?
This is this is before
not
kids.
Like a 5-day cruise, just down to the Bahamas.
Yeah. We went to an island. We had a barbecue. We hung out there.
Listen, hold on. I got to put my dog in.
Yeah, we slept. We slept on the. We slept on the boat or whatever. Then we came back to Fort Lauderdale, and I don't know if Shannon's listening. I am going to tell this story, but anyway, no, I'm telling her that I am going to tell this story. But so we, so like I tell you, like when me and Shannon are out in public, like we're very, we talk to everybody. We make friends, like and nothing was different when we first got together. So we're in Fort Lauderdale, and we get on the boat. So we're getting on the boat. We're just hanging out. We meet this couple, very nice couple from Ohio. Okay, so I forgot their names; they escaped me. But anyway, this is not mom parent. This is Richie and Shannon. This is like pre-marriage. Like we're still having fun, Richie and Shannon. So. We get on the boat.
So you're no longer having fun, is what you're...
No. I'm talking about I mean, that was said wrong.
We're still having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Different kind of fun is what I'm saying. So we meet this couple, right? So we have a nice day with them. We have a couple of drinks with them. We have fun with them. So me and my wife were drinking.
Are you on the boat now?
We're on the boat now,
right,
and we meet this couple, and we find out the couple. They're nice people. I forgot if it was overnight or not. Or I think we had met them that day, but winds up that they're staying in the hotel right by us, and they were a nice couple. Me and Shannon were drinking all day, hanging out, partying. They were having a couple of drinks here and there. So we're gonna meet you guys for dinner.
I think I know where this is going, but finish it.
We're gonna meet these people for dinner. It's like it's a good restaurant. We're gonna meet them at this restaurant. It's all
well and good. Upside down pineapples on their shirt.
No. This is going the exact opposite way of that.
All right.
Now me and Shannon they're going back to the hotel. We're going to go back to the hotel and we're going to change. And, me and Shannon okay, we'll see you later. We're not going to go back and change. We'll meet you guys out later. So we continue to go out. We go to a bar and we go to another bar. No, we're supposed to meet them at 7:30 for dinner or something at this restaurant. So I don't even think there were cell phones out there. There might have been, but we didn't exchange numbers. We were just going to meet them at this restaurant. So me and Shannon hit a bar. We're drinking. We go to this, Slurpee bar. I forgot what it's called, Sloppy Joe's. We're doing some drinks like that. And we're hanging out. It's 8 o'clock, and we're supposed to meet them at 8. We're 3 blocks away. We're hammered. So so you know what? It's so we got to meet them. Shannon's all right, let's go meet them. So we go to the place. We're 10 minutes late or whatever. So now this coupling of people that have met in the universe could not have been more opposite directions at the moment, because we come into this restaurant literally like 2 tornadoes coming into port. We're just like, whoa, what's going on? Yo, Phil and Lauren, what's up? These dudes sitting there waiting for dinner, kind of looking around, talking, like I said, got on, they looked all nice. We were a wreck because we were going to bars. Like, what's up, guys? What's going on? You guys want to dinner? Yes. No. You guys want to order some appetizers? No, let's get some drinks. So drinks.
Let's go to the bar.
You know what they did to us? They pulled out, I got to go to the bathroom, and they left. They left us at not that they didn't pay for dinner. As a matter of fact, they paid the entire bill, and they left.
Because we're that's the only way we're getting out of here.
We can't.
She was Thad, let's leave right now.
These people are really nice on the boat, but who the hell are these people? Yeah. They're not the same people, but hence we were just having fun, what I mean? But it's we were all right, fine. But we met these people that were not in the mood to kind of be on the same kind of vacation that we were on. It was crazy. At that moment, we're
on
like, they are
on the
not.
boat, you had the same vibe.
Yes.
But then the day
They
progressed.
were happy hour.
Yes.
Some
Oh,
burger.
we're out on the boat. Here we go.
Oh, great. You guys live in Ohio. We live in New York. Oh, that's awesome.
Let's meet for dinner.
Let's have some dinner and talk. Oh, we're going to have kids one day. Oh, that's great. I knocked. As a matter of fact, that's the trip where I knocked Shannon up.
Right.
Yes, during that trip. That's when we pinpointed the time when she got pregnant with Aiden on that trip.
Well, if we're speaking about knocking wives up, my boys both had the exact same due date.
Wow.
Exact. September 25th.
So what's that saying? Does that say you have sex twice in your life on the same day?
Do your math. New Year's Day.
Okay. All right. So there it is.
We brought in the new year with a bang.
Yeah. But you want to hear something crazy about
you know what's funny? Neither one of them were born on that day.
Really?
Jack was July 1st.
Okay.
3 months premature.
Okay.
And Maddie was 3 weeks premature.
All right. Oh, that's like...
And I was not premature. Booyah.
But just like to go back to that story just for 1 second and want to hear something funny, we were the age we were at that time. If me and Shannon met on the boat now today, I would have went home too. If I would have saw me and Shannon walking in, and me and my present day wife right now are like, we're meeting this nice couple for dinner, and 2003 Shannon and Richie walk into the bar to meet 2023 Richie and Shannon, be like, yo, let's get out of here. These people are fucking crazy.
Well, see, I still like myself, but my wife, I guarantee you, she's even said her 1997 year before she met me self would be walking up here and seeing her 2023 self sitting in sweatpants in a sweatshirt, drinking her coffee on a built deck around a camper. She'd be like, "You are crazy."
Yeah, but you know what though?
But guess what? She's happy.
Exactly. We made it, dude. That's the thing. Like
she's happy.
We had these crazy times. We had fun. Like, you know, we had our times when we were those people that were like, just wanted to keep going. But it's like,
dude, and I'm telling you right now, right behind us, Wendy and Donovan, who is our biggest supporter. Mm-hmm. He keeps telling me, now this guy is 6'8". Mm-hmm. He used to have a freaking, what's a party in the front, business front, party in the back. What's that called? Not a mohawk. It's a
ponytail? No.
Faux hawk? Yeah, you're killing me right now.
I don't know where you're going with this.
The country thing, with it's short and then it's...
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The terrible looking haircut.
Yes.
I don't know.
The kids, they all have... Mullet. Thank you.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
He had a mullet. Okay. Now imagine a 6'8", blonde-haired mullet.
Okay.
And loud as can be.
Okay. Love him already. Want to meet him. Where is
he?
Get him on the podcast. Get him on the podcast.
Dude, he'll walk around here in a Sasquatch outfit. Jeez. And he looks like it.
Wow.
He's that tall. But he's loud. And he was the type of guy when I first met him, I'm like, you either love him or you hate him.
Right.
You're like, he just wants to be noticed. But then he explained to me why he is how he is. He almost died when he was 19. So he lives his life to the fullest.
Yeah. I want that guy to have an interview with us dressed in Sasquatch.
I'm telling you right now, and once he said, I was 19, I had an ankle injury, they took me into surgery, I died for 5 minutes. Since that time, I live my life to the fullest and want to enjoy life.
Wow.
Once he said that, I'm like, that's why you are how you are, and I appreciate that.
Wow.
So, we're up here. I had a couple drinks in me. Shannon did too. His wife, Wendy, starts going, hey, there's a concert up here with Sean Kingston, In Vogue, TLC, and Shaggy. Do you guys want to go? I'm like, yeah. So the next day, Shannon goes, you have to, we got tickets to Shaggy. I'm like, what?
Fantastic.
She never listened. She had no idea who Shaggy was, Sean Kingston, or In Vogue.
Okay.
She knew TLC.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I was in college. I listened to Boys and Men, loved TLC, Waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's awesome.
But Elle died.
Yes.
The craziest one.
Yes.
Lisa. Yes. Great. She was the rapper.
She burnt down Andre Rison's house.
And then karma, she burned in a car.
Yeah.
But we went to that concert. my wife, who was the whole time, she's like, we're listening weeks up to the concert, Shaggy. She's like, oh, I know this. I'm like, I know you know these songs.
Yeah.
She's like, that was a great concert.
Yeah.
She goes, Shaggy was unbelievable. I'm telling you right now, if you have to see a concert this year, I listen to nothing but country now. Okay. Go see Shaggy.
Wow.
Dude, I danced the entire time. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, it might have been because I had a secondhand smoke high. From the moment I stepped in line, I didn't have to have a joint in my hand. I was smoking.
Right?
But I'm telling you, he was phenomenal. And good. Shannon didn't like TLC. Well, TC. I did because I listened to them growing up.
But exactly, because it's you remember a time when that music was popular.
But see, you would love listening to Shannon, drinking with her the wine and listening to music because we go from my country to her white lines.
Yeah.
White. I hate that music, dude.
Come on.
I do. Like she's like, you know this song. I'm like, no, it's horrible. It's the same beat as White Lines, different words.
God, the music's great, man.
See, that's you and her.
All sorts of different music is great. All music is great.
Long Island and Queens.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know.
PA, we didn't have.
We were big on the freestyle too. The freestyle music.
That's what I'm saying. She loves. PA didn't have the freestyle. Yeah. Oh, we had. Do you remember the movie Breakin'?
Yeah.
We had people. One of my good friends I grew up with wrestling, Shane McCaslin. He had the broken down cardboard box doing the backspins. He could break dance. Yes. Loved the movie Breakin'. But freestyle music is not the music that was on Breakin'.
No.
Horrible.
Yeah. No. Some of it's good. TKA, come on. That's good stuff. I don't know. And I literally think that
Thank you, Meg.
I think that was kind of like a Long Island Queens thing, that type of music. I really do. I think like those bands, I think that was pretty much condensed into like a sort of Brooklyn, Queens type Long Island thing.
It was like a city thing. Because back then you had your radio stations that played pop music.
Yeah.
But no, I shouldn't say pop. They had pop rock, all the hits of the day.
WLIR with the new wave.
No, that's you.
Oh, I'll tell you. All right. That's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah.
And so me growing up in Central PA, my cousin who grew up in Port Jervis, New Jersey,
right?
High Point,
okay,
which is right there at the Matamoras, 84,
yeah.
Port Jervis, Matamoras, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. Grew up right there. He came to a reunion and was playing Eminem on a cassette tape.
Right.
I never heard of Eminem.
Right.
Because in Central PA, we got movies 6-8 months later.
Interesting. What's that?
That was my wife saying, love you, good night.
Oh.
Someone wants to join live. All right, someone's joining live.
Who's this?
But, what up, boy?
What's up?
What are you doing?
I was just talking to this girl on here. She had like little curly hair. She was like a brunette.
On here? And then you came to two guys?
Yo, the two handsome guys right here, bro.
I'm a brunette.
Yo, you hit the jackpot tonight, bro. Hey, listen, thanks for checking us out, my man. I'm sure I can't be a pretty blonde girl, but, I might make you laugh.
Hey, man, wherever I can find conversation at, man.
Dude, hey, DJ, we are called Shootin' the Breeze because we're just two guys that just want to do conversation, man. All right, where are you at, DJ?
I'm in Chicago.
All right, we're in New York.
Shit, New York, it's all right. New York's all right. Y'all a little dirty. Y'all got like rats and stuff, but it's all right.
Yo, listen, I don't care. You could badmouth New York all you want. I hate it too, bro. I've been here my whole life. I can't stand New York. I grew up in Queens. I grew up in the city, and I want out of this state like my head's on fire, bro. I hate it here. What happened? Your phone died.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? That guy was good, man. we just had a guy call in. All right, that guy was good too, man. Maybe we'll get another guy to call in. I'm sorry, brother. That's the TikTok live feed died there. Well, it looks like we got people listening out there. We don't even know. People are just really starting to tune in. How am I doing out there, Meg? Doing a good job today? Yeah, actually, our Podbean feed is about to. It's probably going to run out in about 15 minutes anyway. But I think we covered a lot of topics tonight. I think I got some stuff off my chest. A little bit. It's always fun up here sitting here talking to Josh. And it's good when you have somebody to bounce a bunch of your stuff off of, especially because, men keep stuff in so much, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's really good to have somebody just to, kind of like just somebody just somebody just to be, just to bounce your, your feelings off and somebody to be honest back to you and say, listen, that's you shouldn't really think like that, So, just maybe just to get it out. You know what I'm saying? But I think we lost I thought you knew that guy.
No, I didn't know the guy. He just jumped on, dude.
No,
that was.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys heard, but Josh had the TikTok live going thing, and we had some guy get on from Chicago, and he popped on the show. He goes, "Yo, man, what's going on? I was just talking to some girl with pretty blonde hair and blue eyes.
She was a brunette with curls.
A brunette with curls." And then he goes, "Now I got you too."
Well, what did he say next? He goes, "I just want conversation."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "That's why we're here."
Yeah, man, that was pretty funny.
Karma.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dude, we just got off the highway. We're talking about everything. We're all excited. My wife calls me. We have no hot water. We're 2.5 hours from home. And I said to her, I'm like, dude, babe, do you want me to turn around? She said, no, I'll call my dad.
Oh, my God.
Just got off the highway.
Yeah.
She called. We're all excited.
Yeah.
What are the chances the day that I leave the house without her?
Yeah.
Lose our hot water.
Like I said to you, that conversation in my house would have been exactly the opposite way. She would be like, you better turn that car around right now and get back. We have no hot water.
I am just thankful that Rich was in the car with me because that conversation went a little bit differently than it would have. Because I swept the basement, and what did she say? Oh, you had to sweep the basement the day you left?
Yeah, I guess.
Like me sweeping the basement with one arm.
Yeah,
made the pilot light in our hot water heater go out.
Yeah. But
it did.
It just works out that, you hear that conversation when it rains.
The whole night we're sitting here, no one chimes in. I have 20%. I'm not charging. I'm like, I even just said there's no one listening. And then freaking DJ comes on.
It's going to happen, Josh. Especially it's going to happen with the TikTok.
But dude, that's great because that's what you want. That's a guy who probably wouldn't be talking to us.
Yeah.
Upstate New York.
Yeah, here he said, he was hysterical. He goes, yo, man, you guys are from New York. He goes, yo, you guys are dirty up there. You guys got rats and stuff.
Son of a
Yo, that was good conversation right there, man. That guy's got to call back. He's got to get his voice to play. He's in Chicago. I got some questions to ask him about Chicago.
And he's saying New York's dirty. Jesus,
I don't know.
You had the old Mayor Beetlejuice in Chicago.
I can't.
Man.
I don't like New York either. So it's not even like I could say
that
guy's wrong. No, New York sucks too.
Pennsylvania. I'm not going to defend New York. I know Lauren and Meg. You will.
No.
But
Meg was in Connecticut.
I'm not going to. But she was defending Long Island.
Yeah.
No. Actually, Lauren was right.
Lauren was defending Long Island. Megan's Connecticut.
I will never say bad things about Long Island except for traffic. But New York City, I could go without it.
Yeah, I could do it out in New York City. Well, whatever. Listen, I still am one of those guys that does get into New York City, and I still do look around, and I look at the buildings, and I do love the east side of Manhattan over the west side of Manhattan, because I think the older buildings are nice. I think Riverside on the west side is nice, but I also think that York is nice on the east side. And it's like the old parts of Manhattan.
I say that because going into it now is different than when I first came down here.
Yeah.
Pre 9/11 and all that. You could go in there. You could enjoy Central Park. You could do everything.
Yeah. No, it's
Are you not charging right now, dude?
Oh wait, it's unplugged.
I just unplugged you.
Oh boy. See, look at this, Josh. You're killing the operation here, Josh.